topic we are about to talk on now is Prarthna, prayer, if you want to call it that. That's the closest translation we can find. But it's still Prarthna, or mantra is not the same as prayer, and I have to stress that point. Prayer actually is an act of begging. And if you listen to the prayers that are being spoken and being chanted, usually they are the begging type. In the Hindu system, we use the mantras, and the mantras are of different types, and we'll be looking at them in a little while. But in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna in chapter 7, verse 16, spoke about 4 types of people who actually offer salutations and prayers. And we want to look at who those 4 are, and you'll find yourself in one of them, actually. If you're not there, it means that you're not here.
You're a combination.
You could be a combination, but you got to be one or more of these 4. And the first one is the artha. And that is the people who are distressed, people who are ill, who find themselves in difficulties of one kind or another. So they are the ones, and they're the quickest to pray, right? That's the first type of people. As soon as you stomp your foot, you begin to pray. And that prayer might be a little bit different, but it's still a prayer. So the first one is a person in distress. The second one is called jignasu. These are the seekers of knowledge, people who want to control their mind so they can approach knowledge in a practical way. So that's a jignasu. Then you have the third type, which is artha or arti. Those who desire for wealth and material gain. And believe me, everybody prays to win the lottery, I think. So we find ourselves in that position. And the last one is the jnani, the person of wisdom. Now if you find yourself in one of these or more than one of these, then you pray. Alright? So let's go, we will stick to the word prayer because it's the closest that we in the English language understand. If I say prarthna or mantra, you really don't know what we are talking about. But there are 5 components to this prarthna. And the 5 components are: 1, the stuti, wherein the qualities of Bhagavan are chanted. The second is called vandana, how the qualities of Bhagavan affect ourselves. The third is puja. All of us are involved in puja of one kind or another. And this is where we admire and appreciate the changes that take place in ourselves. Now if we cannot make the changes when we perform puja, it means we're not doing the right thing. We just do it as an exercise only. The changes are indicated in the puja. And I've spoken of them many times over the past while. Because I've made a little study of this puja, and the study is one of importance, and it's starting from where we are, lifting us spiritually towards self-realization. That's what puja is meant to do. It's a lesson. And it's a lesson in action, which all of us can participate in. So we need to understand what puja is all about too. So this one is the third one. The fourth is the mantra. The mantras are really glorification of the qualities of the Bhagavan. And those mantras, like the Vedic mantras and mantras from other places, they are important for us because we recognize that some of the qualities that we chant about are the qualities we like to inculcate in ourselves, because after all, the goal in all of this is happiness. Everyone is seeking happiness. How we go about it might be a little bit different, but it is there. And by chanting prayers and mantras, what do we want to bring? Peace in our minds so that we can achieve that happiness. And the last one, of course, is dhyan, or meditation on the qualities of the Brahman. Now, as you can see, there are 5 components of this prarthna, prayer, that we have spoken about. Now, many people, I am sure, are confused about the underlying philosophy of prayer, or prarthna. Consequently, often, very often, our prayers are not answered, and I am going to attempt to provide some insights into the success of how prarthna can be achieved, success that we can achieve through prarthna. To begin with, we must understand as to why we pray. And I've given you 4 reasons already, as is said in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. But here there are basically 12 reasons for prayer. And we look at them one by one, quickly though. We pray to depend on Bhagwan to help us in distress. That's the first quality there, remember, the one in distress. We pray or we perform prarthna for asking Bhagwan for enlightenment, which is the second one. We pray for communion with Bhagwan through single-minded devotion. We pray for asking for peace from Bhagwan when the mind is restless. We pray for surrendering ourselves to Bhagwan completely. We pray to Bhagwan for giving us the ability to comfort others. And you know, that's a very important quality. Believe me, when people find themselves in distress, a little hand around their shoulder and a few words of comfort can lift their spirit so highly. And we should understand, we want that quality within ourselves. We must be able to show compassion. We pray for thanking Bhagwan for the many blessings. Instead of thanking for the many blessings that we got, what do? We want more. We beg for more. So we always look at the cup as half empty, not half full, you know. So we need to be more optimistic. And you'll find out later on as I carry on with this talk that this is a very important part. We pray for expecting Bhagwan to decide what is best for us when we are in a dilemma. Don't you want to find the right path? What kind of action you should take when you're confused and in trouble? It's the intelligence actually that we want to improve upon. And that intelligence, like what we say many times, we pray to Ganesha to remove the obstacles and infuse us with the knowledge that will help us to overcome every difficulty. We say it, but how many of us take it as literal? We don't. And that's why we end up begging all the time. We pray for making friendship with Bhagwan, as did Sudama, as did Sugriv, and quite a few, Bhivishan too. Quite a few others did the same thing. We pray for melting the mind and the ego in the silence of Bhagwan. That is where the meditation part comes in. We pray for requesting Bhagwan to give us strength, peace, and pure intellect. And that's where the Ganesha thing comes in again. And number 12, we pray for asking Bhagwan to purify the heart and make us abide in Him all the time. Because when we have self-realization, happiness is upon us. And that is what the prayer is all about, to achieve that self-realization. Now there are 2 parts of prayer. In essence, what the above 12 reasons convey to us is that the prayer has 2 parts. One is soliciting a favor from Bhagwan, and the other is surrendering ourselves to His will. While the first part is practiced by most of us on a daily basis, the second part is the real and ultimate goal, because it implies dedication, and dedication means feeling the light of Bhagwan within our hearts. If our heart is devoid of that divine light, we will never ever be happy. We'll never be cheerful, and we'll never be successful in the things that we undertake. What we need to do, therefore, is to guard ourselves against our own selfish desires. Remember, our success depends on the inward state of our minds. Our mind will create hindrance in all the work that we do, if it is not in communion with Bhagwan, because He alone is a permanent abode of peace. I agree that most of us want to have wealth, healthy lives, nice children, prosperous future. But if we always approach Bhagwan with a begging attitude, then we are treating Him as our bearer to supply the things required by us at once.
Santa Claus.
He's not Santa Claus, exactly. There is no devotion. This is no devotion to Bhagwan, but devotion to our own selfish desires. The texts tell us and indicate that there are 7 techniques of successful prayer. When we pray, just talk to Bhagwan as a little boy would talk to his father or his mother, whom he loves, and of course, who loves him too, and whom he feels in harmony with. Tell him everything that is on your mind, everything that is in our hearts. Talk to Bhagwan in simple everyday speech. We don't have to make and harangue ourselves and write poetry and these kind of things. Poetry is in the mantras and so on. Yes, I agree. Because we want to appeal to the general population. But when we are talking to Bhagwan, he understands every language. We don't need to call even the priest to perform the prayer. The priest is there because he understands the process of the ritual. Not many of us understand it. You invite him to perform the ritual and to guide you, but you're the one making the offering. If the priest is going to take the thing and put it there, why are you there? Why did you invite him to put it? Make sure you put it with your own hands, because by doing so, your mind begins to concentrate on what you're doing. And there's a particular procedure which has to be followed. That procedure is of great importance, and we'll speak about it another time, but not today. So talk to Bhagwan in simple everyday speech. He understands every language. It is not necessary to use exaggerated formal speech. We would not talk to our parents, our father or mother in that way, exaggerated formal speeches. Why then? Bhagwan is Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva, your mother and father. Why speak to him in a formal speech? Why should we be formal? This will make our relationship more natural if we speak in a natural way. Tell Bhagwan what is on our minds. We might as well be factual. We want something. Tell him all about it. Tell him you would like to have it if he thinks it is good for you only. Now you notice there's an example I've spoken many times about Narad, when he was infatuated with this young lady, and he went to Lord Vishnu and says, Lord, can you make me look like Hari? You remember that story? And Hari actually means a monkey as well as Vishnu. But Mahavishnu did what was good for Narad, because he is on a path towards self-realization. But he is distracted, he's pulled away. He becomes infatuated. He doesn't know what is good for him, he's confused, he's in a dilemma. So Bhagwan always does what is right for us eventually. But we may not see it that way. Every obstacle that we meet in our lives is put there so that we can become stronger. We don't want to be like the puffed rice, which has no substance at all. You want to be like the grain, which is strong and healthy. Also, say and mean it that you will leave it to him to decide, and you will accept every decision that is best for you. If you do, and this is why we end up, we think God is against us every time we get something bad happen to us.
They blame God for everything.
Those things don't happen. Those things happen for a reason. We've got to grow stronger. Otherwise, if your spiritual strength does not improve, there's no path for any of us. So we need to improve our spiritual strength. We ought to have and thus fulfill our own destiny. It will be possible for Bhagwan to give us many things that we should have. It will be possible for Bhagwan to give us things that we should have. Wonderful things. It is really unfortunate. The marvelous things that we miss, things Bhagwan wants to give us and cannot, because we insist upon something else. Things Bhagwan wants to give us and cannot because we insist upon something else. Something only a fraction as fine as the one that we could have received if we leave it up to him. But most of us, we don't want. We want something, we want it right there and then. If it doesn't happen immediately, then Bhagwan has to be blamed. Practice praying as many times during the day as possible. Now that is sometimes difficult for us. But think about it this way. Some of us have very simple tasks to do. And the same thing, repetitive tasks. If you're working on a line job, you do the same thing over. You put one screw in here, that's all. It becomes mechanical after a little while. All that time, that mechanical thing is so simple to do that it takes no effort at all. The mind is not on it. The mind wanders all over the place. Use it usefully in praying. Put your bhajan in place. Sing along. How many of you do this? Occasionally. Now you sometimes have critical jobs that needs to be done. You have to put your mind on job. That time you can't pray. Believe me, I understand that very well.
You do it before you do the job and it brings out what you should do.
But
makes you think better.
Some of the jobs that we do, we can actually do it while we are praying too. And we should understand that. While you're driving your car, for instance, if there was somebody sitting on the seat next to you, wouldn't you be talking to them?
Right.
And you think Bhagwan is not sitting on that seat when you're alone in the car?
Yeah.
He's there. Talk to him. Keep talking. This becomes part of your prayer too. But don't only ask for things all the time. This begging becomes useless. And that, unfortunately, is what we do. It is not always necessary to say words when we pray. By the way, the mental prayer is a more important and has better results than when we speak with the mouth. Work from inside, you work from it in the mind. It's easier. Think about it. Move along on your thinking. That's why there are a few prayers to Shiva. They're called Manas Puja. Manas Puja is where you don't make the actual offering. But to do that, you need to have control of the mind. So when we offer the milk, for instance, and we read the Gokshir, Dharma, Desha, Gokshire, Mayapitam, and so on. If we didn't have the milk, what would you be doing? You do it in your mind. You think about doing it. And that becomes even more important than actually placing it. Because while you're throwing the milk there, your mind is on something else. What use does it happen? Why we make it practical is because we hope that when we do it, our mind will be on what we're doing. This is what the puja is about, to keep the mind attached to what we're doing on the board, on the puja or the daily, so that we can prevent it from wandering all over the place, which is what happens, by the way. And you know, when people call you to do puja, there's a way that it has to be done. And when they tell you, Pandit, make it brief, they wasted their time and my time too. But some people just can't sit long enough. You just got to be with them. Don't sponsor puja like that. And then they call Pandit, they do 4 or 5 puja in one. They want to do everything at the same time. Just do one. Bhagwan is the same Bhagwan with many, many names and forms. Doesn't matter which one you pick. Hanuman, Ram, Krishna, Shiva, Devi. Some are more complicated than others. Some are not so complicated. When you go to Devi Puja, it's the most complicated thing you'll find. So much to do. And so long it takes. Everybody, including the people that you invite, becomes tired. Don't always pray for yourself. Try helping others with our prayers. This is why we got this list here. My wife complains how long the list is. She always does. Why do you pray for so many people?
Because I knew some of them feel good.
Okay. If they feel good, they'll come here and we don't pray for them anymore. But once their name is on the list, we try to include as many people. And we ask you to pray for yourself as well. And for those that are closest to you too.
You say share the love, Pandit.
You got to share the love, exactly. I agree. So when she says the list is too long, I tell her, man, look, don't complain so much. It's good to do something for others. And this is what the thing says. Don't always pray for yourself. Try helping others with our prayers. Pray for those who are in trouble, those who are ill. Whether they are your loved ones or your friends, your neighbors, your prayers will profoundly affect them. And when you look at the Ramcharitmanas, when Ram and Hanuman meets, what does Hanuman say? My friend is up upon the hill there. He's your devotee. Please visit. Rama knows this, but Hanuman himself is praying for his friend Sugriva. Please, Lord, come and meet with him. The same thing we do when we offer the prayer here. Show some compassion upon these people so that they may not feel the pains that they do. Is that bad? What do you think?
No, that's good.
One day my name might come on this list here.
Yeah.
And I hope that when it does come, everybody will pray sincerely for me too. Last but not least, whatever we do, let us not make all our prayers into a form of begging for something. The prayer for thanksgiving is much more powerful. Make our prayer consisting of a listing of all the fine things we possess, or all the wonderful things that have happened to us. Name them over. Thank Bhagwan for them, and make that our whole prayer. You notice I didn't put the begging part in.
No bargaining?
No bargaining. We will find that these prayers of thanksgiving grow into much more for us. Much more. It's the thanksgiving part that is important. We show gratitude. Gratitude is what makes more things happen to us. If you meet someone who has done a little thing for you, you're gracious and you show them lots of gratitude, wouldn't they be willing to do more for you than if you just don't ignore them and say nothing? And most of us, when good things happen to us, we forget that Bhagwan was the one who made it happen.
Yeah.
We say, if I had not done this, this would have not happened. We forget all the prayer we were doing before so that we can achieve it. And when it does happen, Bhagwan is the last to be given thanks. Finally, please do not pray to Bhagwan to run after you to satisfy your selfish desires. You are supposed to do your work as efficiently and skillfully as possible. With faith in Bhagwan and using the above techniques of prayer, we will have success in every walk of life.